Hey guys, welcome to Module 4. This is execution. So this is where the trading begins. This is where the fun also begins. Up to this point, you've learned exactly how to read price, manage risk, and build discipline. Now what I'm going to show you what a real trade looks like from start to finish. No random entries, no guessing, no chasing, real live execution. So execution is not just entering a trade by any means. Execution is the full process of understanding context, waiting for confirmation, defining risk, managing the position, and then reviewing the result after the trade is over. In this module, we're going to cover 5 things: the pre-trade context, entry confirmation, risk and invalidation, trade management and exits, and then journaling basics and why it's important. So let's see what the market is doing overall. So before I even think about entering any trade, I need context. I need to know exactly whether price is trending or consolidating, where the important levels are, and what time it is in the session, and whether the setup is even worth my attention. No context means no trade. So we're not going to go too detailed in this. I mean, we can really see what's going on. Overnight, the price shot up and now it's remaining above the Asia session VWAP. And what that means is that the quote unquote fair price overnight kept getting bought up. So anytime we hit this level, it got bought up. Every time we hit it, got bought up. Every time we came close to it, it really got bought up. So what this is telling us is that buyers are in control. Now, the key levels for this is if we stay below Asia session VWAP, that means we can go much lower. Or if we stay above it, then we're in control. Now that New York session is open, all we have to do is stay above it to remain in control. So what I'm thinking is, okay, since the buyer's in control, I don't want to be in the opposite side of either one of these. But in this instance, we are trending. Bulls are in control, buyers are in control. So we want to maintain a position above VWAP. So once that context is clear, the next question is simple. What confirms a trade? And I'm not going to enter just because bulls and buyers are in control for the day. It can absolutely come back down and you'll still get stopped out. You'll still go negative. So I need price to prove something first, which is why the first 15 minutes is super important. Why? Because it gives us more information on what the New York Open wants to do. You can see that VWAP is brand new. It's literally only 15 from the start. And we have our levels. This is the high right here at 6473. And then we have the low right here at 6450.50. So what we want to see is an opening range break above it, or we break down below New York VWAP, possibly break down to the opening range low, and then hit our Asia session VWAP, where we might see buyers step in again as they have overnight. Now, after the first 15 minutes doesn't mean we have to force a trade. We want to see something happen first. So before I enter, I need to know where I'm wrong. If I don't know where I'm wrong, then I have no business being in a trade. So let's say I get into a trade at the opening range break, and then it comes way back down to New York VWAP, then my trade is invalidated, because if it comes back down and breaks down, then I am out of that trade. Let's say price moves a little bit below VWAP, and then we try to get in on puts, but then after we get into puts, we see that price shoots up. Then that trade would be invalidated. I am out. And remember, if you don't know where you're wrong in a trade, then you have no business being in a trade. So you can see we have our first opening range break. What this means is that now what we're going to do is wait for price to come back down to VWAP, and then we can absolutely get into a trade. So here's a live trade that I did on Trade Echo.
Waiting for the New York VWAP retracement before getting in. Enter calls on the challenge.
What level is that at?
That's going to be at 6.4. Oh wait, let me look at US 500. That's going to be at 6.432.
It's quite a bit down.
So despite it being quite the way down, we want to stick with their plan and our standard of waiting for that position to hit where it taps New York VWAP and bounces from it. So right here, you can see we get our first tap and it got bought up immediately. So I'm going to write some Spark notes here. And after those Spark notes, we know next time if it taps it again, we have a great chance of our contracts flying. So you can see I'm positioning ourselves right here on futures. And then from there on, we're going to also do the option calls.
I'm entering on
on
SPX.
space?
Yeah, I got into the 6485 calls. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
If 6433 breaks, then I will be stopping out of these calls.
So very important, guys. Make sure you guys keep up with marking up and writing Spark notes. You saw that because of the first tap of VWAP, that gave us confidence to enter on the next tap.
Think we might finish the challenge today.
Right here, we get our first trim.
Yeah, you sniped that entry. That was impressive.
Now here's the deal breaker. Just because the price is moving up and up and up does not mean that the contracts are moving all that great. Now on futures is great, but look, I set my stop loss pretty tight because I don't want this to go any lower than the high of day VWAP. And you can see that right here, we actually break down below it. And if I stayed in that trade, I would have been stopped out in the negative. I would have been down at least -10 or -20%, ruining the trade and the profits. So we maximize our profits, and now we're back down to New York VWAP. And after the trade is over, the work's not done. This is where journaling matters because trade only has value if you can learn from it. Now, Sunrob actually has a great question. Is there going to be a VWAP bounce here? So with this being said, I get where you're coming from because in the last two, we had the taps on the VWAP, which got immediately bought up. But you can see the last four candles have been nothing but bearish and it's heavy on the selling. And you can see the fifth one that we're on right now is literally about to hit the session high. So if it breaks down the session high, then we can go lower into perhaps even the Asia session VWAP, which is down below, and the low of day session. So in this instance, what we want to do is just wait. And if we can come back up to New York VWAP and close above it, then that give us another confirmation that we're just creating higher lows in the macro section. So all we got to do is just wait. There's no reason to get in a trade after a great winning trade. There's no need to force entries. Sometimes this is the one and done deal for the day. So remember, guys, execution is not the art of clicking buttons. It's the art of waiting, confirming, committing, and managing with discipline, as you guys witnessed. So if you can master that, you stop trading like everyone else. You stop reacting, you stop guessing, and you begin to operate this trade with intent. So, guys, this is where real trading starts. This is where you'll start changing your life around and start treating it like a business. So from here on out, watch this video over and over and over, do your markups, really look into this video and take it onto your next trade. I'll see you guys on the next module.